Hello,
Hello.
welcome back. Amira, today let's practice a few questions. Today you will work, I will watch you, I will listen to you, and also in this way you will have some kind of break because every time teaching. All right, as I told you, we will continue like this. And if you have better suggestion, I will consider this. Okay. And today you are going to solve, I'm going to watch you. And next time, maybe one session, maybe in each session, I will teach like 20, 25 minutes and 15 minutes, you will solve and show me your work. Okay. So now can you open the file that I sent in WhatsApp?
Okay.
It's quadratic equations. Let's solve a few questions from there and after that we'll finish our class for today. Can you share your screen? Okay. So here we have a few questions. Is about chapter 1. Okay, that is really useful to improve your understanding skill. I mean, the word problems, that is translating word problems into algebraic equations. Some questions we will solve this depending on its appearance. Some questions you don't have to solve this. Here, our aim is to understand the problem. Number one. Number two is translating the problem into mathematical equation. Okay. So what you have to do here is, Amir, you have to read the problem and explain it to me and write the equation. Okay. And after that, simplify this, bring into the standard form. That's it. We don't have to solve it till the end. Okay. And if
Okay.
possible, try to solve as fast as possible. And because number one, we are working on our comprehension skill. Number two is translating the problems into algebraic equation. And number three is speed. Okay? Good. Then let's start. You can start from 82. Sorry?
Oh, I was gonna read the first one.
Did you open this with Microsoft Edge or?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's start with 82.
Tom and Jerry travel from Bedok to Jurong, a distance of 32 kilometers. Tom is moving at half a kilometer per hour faster than Jerry, and it took Tom half an hour earlier to reach Jurong. Find the speed at which Tom is moving. So do we have to use the speed equation?
Can you zoom in a little bit, Amira? It's better for us. More. Okay, that's good. So in this kind of questions, the first thing we have to do is to draw a line, right? Since we are talking about two different destinations, let's say it is B and J, that is Bedok and Jurong. These are actual Malaysian names. Okay, let's say that is B and J. And the distance is 34 kilometers. Good. Continue. What is next?
Do we need this formula?
Yeah, Tom is moving at faster than Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, if you just write on the left hand side, let's say this T, and next to T, let's say J, and let's write it is their speeds, right? Let's say if T and J. And in the question, it says that find the speed at which Tom is moving. Let's say that then we need to use X for Tom's speed. Let's say X speed, Tom's speed is X kilometers per hour. So that's Then what will be Jerry's speed?
Is that correct?
Yeah, but when you just write expression, you better write in parentheses that x minus 1 over 2. Can you just put them in parentheses, brackets?
Oh, okay. It took Tom half an hour earlier to reach Jorong. And then we need to find the speed.
Yeah, so now let's also use t for Tom's time, right? Tom half an hour earlier. So if can you represent Tom, actually the time that's took for Tom to reach J, it is t. So then now we have written down the speeds, right? You know, why don't you just write next to the names so that you know actually that's next to t. Yeah, if you need more, so all right, t hours. Okay. Amir, let's just stop for a while. Okay. Can you see my screen?
No.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Amir, actually about these questions, when you submit your assignments, I was expecting you to write all your work, but you only wrote answer. That's why I couldn't see your work. That's why I want to see how you solve these questions. What I mean here is, okay, the first, okay, we are talking about distance time things, right? Anyway, we are going to use this formula that is S times T. Okay, number one, let me just do it here. Okay, because I need more space. Number one. So you are talking about two people, right? And they are traveling from one place to another place. Let's say that's B, that is J. So the distance is 34 kilometers. And actually, this is how I'm expecting you to explain, or not explain actually. At least I expected you to solve in this way, or at least better than this way. So now when I say that, just writing the given details here or information. So since we are talking about two people and also we have two different variables, right? Number one is speed, second one is time. How can I write this? Maybe you can just write here, Tom and Jerry. If you can just draw a line so that we don't get confused. And here we have, here we have speed and the time. Okay, for speed, if Tom's actual speed is X kilometers per hour, then Jerry, right? It says Tom is moving at half kilometer per hour faster than Jerry. So Jerry's speed must be X minus half, since that expression means right in parentheses, kilometer per hour. And it took Tom half an hour earlier to reach Jurong. So actually, if for Tom it took t hours, then how about for J? It is t plus 1/2 hours, right? Because Tom took half an hour. After actually, that is our first step, writing all the given information. Now we are expressing everything in mathematical language, right? So next thing is forming our equations. Now number 2. All right, what is the question? Find the speed at which Tom is moving. Okay, here I'm going to find this x. That's why I use x for this Tom's speed. So since the distance 34, we know that speed times time gives us distance. From the first one, speed times time. That is x times t. That is equal to 34. And using for Jerry, his speed is x minus 1/2. Time is t plus 1/2. So we have this equation, x minus 1/2 times t plus 1/2. And we are talking about the same distance. Okay. Until here, actually, that is the most important thing. And I want to see how you are thinking and how you are approaching the problem and how actually you are translating these things into algebraic equation. And after that, the rest is easy because it's just equation. We have two variables, we have to solve this, and just you need to follow the fixed rules, right? We can solve this. Eliminate x or t and solve the equation, we will have quadratic equation. But actually, until here, I want to see how you actually you are, how to say, approaching the problem or how you understand and translating the problems into this. And I will see if here the question is a bit complicated, you will solve it. With a simple question, you should stop this. And you will see that most of the questions here, once actually you just translate this into math question and write and form an equation, we will have very similar equation. So we don't have to solve these equations again and again. But until here, questions are different. That's the most important thing. And if you just continue this, how do we solve that? Two equations, so x times t equals 34, okay. So we need to find x, right? From here, from the first equation, we have to express t in terms of x and substitute into the second equation. So here we have t equals 34 over x. Before substituting this, let me just simplify this. Maybe we will get simpler form. Or without also doing this, you can do that, doesn't matter. X minus 1/2. Sorry. If you expand this, x times t, x times 1/2 plus 1/2 x, negative 1/2 times t minus 1/2 t, minus 1/2 times 1/2 minus 1/4 equals 34. Now from this equation, x times t equals 34. So we can cancel out from both sides, right? And now here, multiply both sides by 4. So here we have 2x, and here we have minus 2t. At the same time, 14, I can substitute this expression, that is 34 over x minus multiplied by 4. Here we have 1. On the right-hand side, we have 0. And to solve this one, multiply both sides by x, because we hope here x is not equal to 0, and because x is a speed, so 2x squared minus, here we have x minus 68 is equal to 0. At least until here, until the quadratic equation, you should write in these questions. And just explain and write it down and show me that, and that much is enough. We don't have to continue from here because after that, you know what to do. Okay, Amira? Good. All right. And Amira, let's continue. We can share a screen and let's move to the next question. 84.
The perimeter and area of a rectangle are 48 centimeters and 140 centimeters squared, respectively. Find the length and width of the rectangle.
Okay, can move a little bit more up. Good. So first, Amira, let's draw a picture for this. If it becomes your habit, it's much better. Always easy to visualize this question. And also let's label the width and the length by W and L. Then write your equation so we can see what you are doing here. Very good. Okay. So that's equal to 48, right? Okay, very good. Let's continue. Let's move to the next question, 85.
The perimeter of one square exceeds that of another by 20 centimeters, and the area of the larger square is 105 centimeters squared more than the area of the smaller one. Find the length of the side of the larger square. Oh, it's 105 more.
Yeah.
Now we need to find the length of one side. How would you do this one?
In this question, instead of labeling, using this XY for perimeter and area, let's use this X and Y for the sides of these squares. Let's say the side of the smaller square is X, or actually here it's the length, we can use A. And the length of this bigger square is B. Okay. Using this, let's write the perimeter of the smaller one. What is the perimeter of the smaller one? Capital P equals, or let's say capital P1. Let's write P1. That's the smaller one. P1 equals 4A, right? Okay. And capital A1. Okay, good. 4B. And just next to that P1, right, capital A1 equals A squared. And capital A2, B squared. Because what is the question? We need to find the length of the side of the largest square. Okay, we need to find B. Good. So now we can write the given information. What is it? It says that the perimeter of one square exceeds. What does it mean? It means that P2 minus P1 equals 20, right? Equals 20. And also for the area, A2 minus A1 equals 105. Now let's substitute the values. Okay, you don't have to write the units in the equations. Now we can substitute. What is P2? It is 4B. 4B minus 4A equals 20.
I should probably do this below.
Good. So can you solve it? Two minutes. You solve it here, Amira. Let me see how we solve it.
Not too sure.
Really?
Yeah. Where do I go from here?
The first equation, divide both sides by 4. So we have B minus A equals 20, right? Under this, can you write B minus A equals 5? And how about the second one? B squared minus A squared. Can you factorize it? It is B minus A times B plus A, right? Okay, now we know what is B minus A. That's equal to 5. So substitute 5 for B minus A in the the last question. So we have 5 times B plus A equals 105. So if you divide both sides, we have B plus A. B plus A equals. Yeah, that's it. On the right-hand side that we have empty space. I mean, can you write together now? B minus A equals 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. B minus A equals 5. And under it, write B plus A equals 21. So if you just add them together, you'll get the value of B. Draw a line under B plus A. Okay, and add side by side.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, can you add the first equation to the second equation? Left-hand side to the left-hand side, right-hand side to the right-hand side. Okay, that's we have that we are looking for, right? The question says find the value of b, the side of the bigger square. So dot dot dot, the length of the bigger square is 13 centimeters.
I can't write properly for some reason.
Maybe is it your first time you are writing on the screen, or did you ever practice before?
I haven't like written letters on the screen.
Good. It's 85, right? I mean, now can you try the next question yours? So I will give you 4 minutes. I don't give you any hint, any help, and we will discuss this maybe after they'll finish the class. Okay. So
Okay.
5 minutes. That's the last question for today. Write everything here, okay? And as if you're doing in the exam. Okay.
I don't know where to go from here.
Because you start in a very, not wrong way, but it's not practical way. I'm gonna let's solve this together. Okay, once again, maybe get some idea. Let me just share my screen with you, and we'll finish the class. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, number one feedback is, Amira, when you are drawing the picture or shape or figure, whatever it is, if possible, draw as big as possible. As big as possible means so that you can label things easily. All right, if you draw too small, you cannot put actual labels on the sides. So since number one here, we are talking about a piece of wire. All right, your first step is correct, but labeling is incorrect. Not incorrect, but it's not a good way using too many variables. So that is 100 centimeters, right? So we just cut into two pieces. If the first part is, let's say, X centimeters, then what will be the next part? You wrote Y, right? Why don't you just label it as 100 minus X? Okay, because you need to try to use as, if possible, less number of, variables in equations, number one. Number two is, okay, here, and we know that these two squares are not equal. That's the one is a bit bigger, and second one is a bit smaller, right? And, okay, these are squares, so all sides are equal. Let me just use double right here. Okay. And as you see here, this is the perimeter of the square. Also labeling is good. That one is should be, one side should be X over 4. And here, the one side of the square must be 100 minus X over 4. Good. Now, let's say this one is A sub 1, A sub 2. It says that's the first part of the question. Second part, if the sum of the area of the squares is 425. So that is capital A equals A sub 1 plus A sub 2 equals 425, right? Find the size of the two squares. So we need to find this thing and this thing. Because to find the size of the square, we need to know the value of X. From here, what is X1? And also another mistake there, Amira, you didn't use parentheses. When you're writing algebraic expression, always use parentheses. Here we have square, right? A squared plus, and the side of the square is 100 minus X over, it's not 2, 4 squared. That's equal to 425. Now, if you remove the brackets, here we have X squared over 16 plus, and how about here? We have 16, 100 squared, that is 10,000, minus 2 times 100, 200x, plus x squared. That's equal to 425, right? So now if you simplify this, denominators are the same. I can take this to the right-hand side, x squared plus x squared, that is 2x squared minus 200x plus 10,000 equals 16 times 425. Maybe before this also you can simplify by 2, but I can do this later, no problem, right? And next, now every step we try to simplify as much as possible. To all these numbers are even numbers. Before taking this to the left-hand side, let's divide all sides by all numbers by 2. So here we have x squared minus 100x plus 5,000 equals, here we have 8 times 425. And if you have a calculator, we can simplify this. Here we have x squared minus 100x and 5,000 minus, here we have 5,000 minus 8 times 425. That's equal to 1,600 plus 1,600. That's equal to 0. Okay, now we can solve this. That is 80 times 20, right? That is minus 80 times minus 20. That is 1,600, and the unit sum is 100. So we can factorize it as x squared minus, not x squared, sorry, x minus 80 times x minus 20, that's equal to 0. So x equals 20 or x equals 80. If the side of this square is a, bigger one, that one is b, right? And what is a? A equals, actually, all right, doesn't matter. A equals 20 over 4 equals 5, or a equals 80 over 4, which is equal to 20. Using this one, we can find b, right? When we just find this, we will have b will be 20 and 5, the same thing. So now, just taking the suitable answer, we'll write here the side of the bigger square. That is a equals 20, and the side of the small square, b equals 5 centimeters. If you multiply them, 80 plus 20, that's equal to 100. It gives us the size of this square. Okay, anyway, here at this, I made a one by one, number one. First, if you have to draw, it's a geometry equation. It is suggested that you need to draw a picture. And number two, label nicely. And number three, write your equation. Number four, simplify this. Number five, solve this. Okay, if you just go through these steps in math, actually, usually at least the probability that's making mistake is very less.
Okay.
Amira, until next time, here, if you have time, you can try some question from here now. This one is 86. And we will practice some question from here. And let's see. If you have time, try to solve a few questions, at least 5 or 6 from here. And after that, did I send you already? That's chapter 4 questions. Yeah, I said them all, but it's okay. But you understood the topic, and next time you're going to solve some question from there. If everything is good, they will continue and finish chapter 4 and start chapter 5. And Amira,
Okay.
now today or maybe tomorrow, I will send you another test. All right, when you have time, if possible, try to do this by Friday. If you can send me before actually Friday noon, it would be great. So I will just grade it and mark it, and we will discuss next class. And in this way, we will continue our class. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So Amira, how am I going to meet your mother? She'll come here, or should I send another link? I mean, will she use your laptop, or she will use another laptop?
Let me ask her.
Okay, can you ask her if she uses her own? I will just close this one and send another link. Otherwise, I'll just keep it on, okay?
Okay. Mom?